Now let's practically now do the commands. Now let's practically practice all these SQL commands, data type, and the constraints. So we have a first assignment, so that is create a table. So if you want to create a table in our database, you'll use a create function. So you'll write create table, and then you'll give name of the table. So this is the name of the table, and then into brackets you give the first this is your first column. So the first column will contain data type integers, and it will be primary key. So primary key we've said it ensures that this column does not contain duplicates and does not contain null value. So in this column will only contain integers. Integers we've seen it's data type dealing with numerics, whole numbers. So this column will comprise of whole numbers, and it will not contain duplicates or null value. And then we have our second column. This one so our second column we call it full name. So it will contain varchar. So in varchar we normally give a specific number of limit. So in this column we will contain varchar. So varchar data type that deals with an alphanumeric. That means it allows both alphabets and numbers. So in this column there'll be a limit of 100 characters. So in this column it will only allow up to 100 character, and in this column we are not allowing null value. That's why we've put these constraints called not null value. So we have our data type and we have our constraints. So constraints will not allow null value, because this is the constraints that will prevent such kind of thing to happen. And then we have our third column. So our third column will comprise us of int. So that is integers, and then we'll check if the age is greater or equal to 16. That means in this column, the age column, we will only enter data or age greater than or equal to 16. Anything below that one, it will not allow us. That's why we've put this check constraints, so that to alert us in case we've put something that is not satisfying this condition. And then we have our fourth column. There is email. So email, it contains data type varchar. That means in email it will allow both alphabets and numeric, and in that column it will allow up to 100 character, a limit of 100 character, and then it will allow unique values and not values. So that means there'll be only unique values, and it will not have null value. We're not going to have null value in this column. And then you have gender. We have we have data type varchar, and then the limit is 10. The limit of number of character that will be allowed in this column will be 10. And then we have default. So that means if we are not going to specify the gender, So automatically it will write not specified. So if we run our table, so you can see this is our table. Our first column is student ID. Our second column is full name. Our third is age, email, and gender. And then if you want to add another column into this email, so for example, if you want to add, let's say location. So let's say we want to add another column into this our table. We're going to use alter. So this alter is for modifying existing table. So one of the modification is adding a new column. So we can write this one and then execute. So if you run the original table, we can see we're going to have another column that we've created, location. Now if you want to delete this table, is when I will going to use drop table. So if you run this one, this query, this table will be deleted. So if you try to run, it will pop up something like this table does not exist, invalid object name student. Yeah. So I think we've seen the data definition language, the create function, the alter function, and the drop function. So since we've deleted our table, so let's recreate it so that we can use in the next functions. So now let's try to check or try to explore function of data manipulation language. So data manipulation language, this one deals with the inserting, updating, and deleting the actual data. So you've seen here we've created our table. Let's just use this. So you've seen here we've created our table. Yeah, and then we run it. So you've seen here we've created our table, but this table does not contain data. So we need to insert data into this table. Therefore, we're going to use function in data manipulation language, and this function is called insert into. So we're going to use insert to insert data into our table. So therefore we can write insert into, this is our table name, and then values, and then the first column student ID. So this is our data for our first column. Second column is full name, so this is my full name, and then the age, this is my age, and then we have the email, this is my email, and so on. And then our second column is student ID, this is the value, faith, m, the full name, age, and so on. So let's run this. Yeah, so we've entered our data. So let's try to run so that we can let's try to retrieve the data. From our student name so that we can confirm if the data have been successfully entered. So if you run this one, you can see the data had been successfully entered into our table. So for example, if I want to change my name, my age from 25 to 26, therefore I'm going to use a function called update. where I'm going to update my age. Therefore, going to write update. So we're updating the student this table, and then we set. So we want to change which column? We want to change age equals to 26, where student ID equals to. So we want to use where student ID equals to 1 and age is. So if we want to change age from 25 to 26, where student ID is equal to 1. So if you run this one, so the age will be updated from 25 to 26. So if you run the originals, if you run, let's run this one again. So if you run this original, you can see our age has been updated from 25 to 26. If you want to delete, let's say I want to delete this details of mine, therefore I'll use delete from our table. Our table name is students double S, where student ID equals to, so I will delete the whole of this, where student ID equals to 1. Therefore, if I delete, if I run this, you can see, so if I run the original, so one of the details will not be found. So my name or my details have been deleted. Now, if you want to delete the whole, the records of this table, like I want to delete the records, that means I will only remain with the column name. Therefore, I'm going to use delete from students. So I'm going to delete from students. So if I execute this and I run this and retrieve the data, delete from student, the table name is double S, sorry. So let's run this. And if I run this, so you can see we've deleted our records. So deletes is for deleting the whole records, but also we can delete a specified row by putting a condition using the where function. So now, since we've deleted our table, let's just create and insert the, so that you can use in our data query language. Let's just run table. Yeah, let's just run this. Let's just run this again. We get a table. Create table into, let's just use student. Student. Yeah, let's create table and then we insert this. We insert the table. So we've created the table and we've inserted the values. So now let's try to answer these questions. So our first question is select all records. So we want to retrieve all records from this table. So going to So our table name is student. So we came to write select star from all records. So select star means all columns. So we're going to retrieve. So we have all columns and their respective data. And then step 2, select specific column. So for example, we want only this column and this column. So we don't want this and this. So we can decide to specify the column. Select full name, age from student, and then we execute this. Our table name is student. Sorry. So if we execute this one, you can see we have only full name and age because we've specified the column, full name and age. And then we step 3, filter where age is 20, 25, 23. So our main table here has where age is greater than 23. So that means we will only, so we want to filter rows where age is greater than 23. That means we'll have James O and Eric Mwagambo. So Faith will not appear in this because her age is not greater than 23. And then, for example, if you want to order our age from the eldest, so we want to order our age from the eldest to the youngest. So we're going to use descending, or order by. So going to write select star from this table, and then we order by. We are ordering by age and this. This means descending, and then ask means this one. This one means ascending. This one means descending. So if, for example, you want to order from ascending to descending, we're going to use this. And if you want to order from descending to ascending, we're going to use this one. So let's run this and see. So the age have been ordered from the descending to ascending. Yeah.